Dr. Ruben Rafaelov with us, who I don't know how many people saw our last episode, but we've had him on and he did an amazing presentation on grounding. And welcome him to the show. Welcome, Dr. Ruben.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, the world.
Tell us a little bit about your background for those who didn't see the last episode, like what your background is and how you got to do what you're doing now.
That's a great question. It's very interesting that you asked the question because it's the path that I was on is very unique. So I started out in pharmacy school, and then over the years, as working as a pharmacist, I've seen more and more how the system is broken in terms of really supporting people's health. So I went into more alternative therapies, holistic therapies, nutrition, detox, and I found that still certain things were missing in terms of helping everyone. So I went into more energy medicine and lifestyle medicine, and I found the most important thing to support anyone's health, no matter if they're just born or if they're in their 90s. Everyone needs 6 factors supported in order to get to optimal health and stay there, which is the air they breathe, which will be the topic of today, the quality of their sleep, the food they eat, the water they drink, mindset, and exercise. And I partnered with 2 other former pharmacists, and we formed My Wellness Brothers. And I love how both of us have our wellness in our name. You're wellness superheroes, and we're wellness brothers, and we make a great team.
We do.
We really do.
Yeah.
So how does your what is the outworking of your collaboration with your wellness brothers? Like, what does it look like on a day-to-day basis? And
Great question. The key is to share with people that healthy lifestyle is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And it's something that people should pay a lot of attention to and should really go out of their way to support. Because at the end of the day, our health is our greatest wealth, right? So we do a lot of one-on-one consultations, educations with families, and we're now actually going into more the living spaces where we're working with new developers to incorporate wellness in hotels and also in new building projects and create a whole ecosystem of wellness in the homes as standard. And that's our goal right now.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's really amazing. Actually, I saw something on social media just yesterday where it talked about how what living in a mold infested environment would look like, and people's preconceived idea is that it's a moldy old house, really old, 50, 60 years old and fallen apart and derelict, where actually it's more like newer homes. So because of I imagine you could tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, but because of the things that they treat, the new materials that pad out houses and apartments and things, is that right?
Yeah. So the building material, the piping, with a lot of pipes the steel coming from China, they degrade very quickly. And so I actually have one client who lives in a penthouse suite right by the beach in Miami, Florida, and they're having to regut and redo all the piping because of this issue with mold, right?
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. So we're working with developers who are really conscious, and thank God more and more developers are becoming more conscious because they realize they have all these issues, and they're looking to gain an edge in the market to really attract people that are really next level of awareness. And that's what we're about, spreading awareness and giving people the solutions they need, so that way it makes it seamless to take care of their health in their everyday living.
Yeah, wow. So let's talk about that then while we're on the topic. We're talking about air purification today.
Yes.
Is air purification like vital for combating or the impact on mold in environments?
Yes, it is. It's actually one of the main things that are an issue with regards to air quality. Many times it's odorless, and you really can't see a lot of the mold spores, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So the reason why we're even discussing this topic is because it's such a vital part to support a person's health. Remember, we can spend weeks without food, days without water, but only minutes without air.
Yeah.
And so this is so overlooked and underappreciated, the quality of our air, until there is some kind of crisis.
Right.
We're dealing now with a crisis in the Northeast and Canada of the U.S. with the wildfires in Quebec area. Over 8 million acres of forest fires cause a huge amount of smoke to come down as low as New York and then even lower into Jersey.
Wow.
And it hasn't been this bad in terms of smog since the 1980s in New York. They're even saying that the air quality in New York City is even worse than during 9/11.
Oh my gosh.
Now you can imagine the millions and millions of people that are being affected by the air quality, and these effects will be long term. So now it's a great time that we're talking about this, because, who could expect these fires in Canada to be affecting us here in New York, right? But I'll tell you something even more crazy. We have clients in Dominican Republic, and a certain time of the year they have sandstorms coming in from Africa that have traveled from in the airspace that affects them in Dominican Republic.
Wow.
And that also contributes a lot to the air pollution. And so people think, okay, I'll just close my windows and everything will be fine. Well, most people don't realize the air quality in the home is 100 times worse than outside.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? It's essential nowadays to have an air purifier in the home. And so we're going to be discussing that today.
Yeah, wow.
Now, what are some of the benefits of having pure air? Main thing is it's important for brain function, right? Also, concentration is hugely increased when you have cleaner air. It increases also learning abilities because your brain is sharper. It promotes better sleep. And it increases happiness and attitude because great air just makes you feel lighter.
Yep.
And it's vital to support healthy immune system.
Yep.
So, which are all critical, right? Who wouldn't want those benefits?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have to rush to the pills, to the drug counter. We just need to optimize our air.
Yeah, it's like they've got these terrible symptoms, and then you're just going to mask them, right, with drugs instead of getting rid of the problem.
Yeah. And the great thing is, you clean your air, you get all these benefits, and there's no side effects, which is great.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love that, right?
It's funny how we get to this point where it's like, I can't be that simple. It's confusing to the brain because we're so used to overcomplicating things as humans. It's like, it can't be that simple, really.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting. There's a great quote someone told me that is the solution to every problem, which is keep it simple, stupid. Right?
Exactly.
When in doubt, keep it simple.
Right.
And it's the simplest. Like, I know this also because one of the things all the three brothers of us, we all love to cook, and any chef will tell you the best food comes with the simplest ingredients that are fresh and high quality, right? So it's the same with any industry. I remember seeing at one point a beautiful artist designing something, and it's like a few lines and some circles, and it was just so clean, right? And it's like, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. The simplest solution is always the best.
Always the best because you can always add to it, but you can't really subtract.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you, I'm assuming, and I've looked at the website, that you've discovered the best air purifiers, and what was your criteria at deciding which ones were the best?
Great question. Now, the main thing is that air purifier needs to address the three main contaminant groups, okay, which are irritating particulate matter, such as the mold that we were discussing earlier, which also includes dust, smoke, and pollen. Okay?
Yeah.
So those are what's considered irritating particulate matter, and they really irritate and they make it real difficult for us to breathe, and it's literally just suffocating us. That's what it does, right? Next is dangerous VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds. Okay? These are the off-gassing chemicals that come from pesticides, cleaning chemicals, paint fumes, adhesives, things that are really made with formaldehyde in manufacturing, right? It's that new car smell, right? It's just a bunch of dangerous VOCs that are harming your health.
Oh, wow.
And then what do people do normally? What they get these air freshener things, right, that they hang in their car, which is adding even more chemicals in their air.
Exactly.
Right? So we'll see later, one of our units, a 3-in-1 unit we have, actually cleans the air in the car. That's mobile, which is great.
I
we'll
love
go over
that.
a little bit.
Yeah, and I was thinking travel too. If you travel, because some hotel rooms are just disgusting.
Yes.
Disgusting, yeah.
Exactly. We have a few of our clients that travel a lot to Dubai and all around the world, Mexico, many, many months a year. And they take our mobile units with them, and they apply it in all their hotel rooms, because the air quality is not something that is high in any establishment, believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So why rely on hotels or maintenance crews to supply you with air, where you can just literally push a button and you have fresh, clean air all the time?
Yeah. I wonder, it makes me think, because I'm thinking of all the multi-complex high-rise buildings and their various functions. I can't help but think about hospitals. Do you happen to know if hospitals have a criteria for the quality of air that goes through the building, or no?
So great question. There, yes and no. In their facilities of the hospital where they manufacture or they compound drugs, and it has to be sterile environment. In the surgery rooms, there has to be sterile environment.
Yes.
In some patient floors, also, especially when it comes to the ICU and step-down units, things like that, air quality is more of a standard. But when you get into any of the administrative parts of a hospital or the hallways, it's
or
just as bad.
Emergency departments.
Emergency departments, exactly. So especially waiting rooms are horrible, right? Yeah. So that is a major concern that we find, and the real challenge is most units that are available on the market, they're just one or two technologies. There's really not many out there. And I'm happy to say that we carry one of the best in the world, which has 5 different technologies and 10 different stages of filtration.
Oh, wow.
Which is so vital because it addresses all the main components of improving air quality. One of the other ones I wanted to mention is the infectious bioaerosols. These are like your bacteria, viruses, fungi that are airborne. Right? Not all filters take these out. So I'll give you an example. Something that's very popular that's been advertised is by Sharper Image or in Bed Bath and other stores is these tower air purifiers that you can see right through it. It just ionizes the air, which makes it feel fresh and smell good, which our technology also has that, our air purifiers, but it doesn't do anything to clean out the bioaerosols or the VOCs at all.
Right.
So so HEPA does take that out, but it doesn't address the VOCs. Right. So it's like you in order to hit all these areas, there has to be a multi faceted, multi-technology system. But remember, we're dealing with mainstream industry, which puts profits first at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So we have to remember, and this is something I brought up last time as well, when you're dealing with mainstream has one priority, which is to limit our freedom, limit our ability to be self-determined, right? Limit our ability to lead our life the way we want. And how they do this? Mainstream, they provide products and services and poisons, right, that keep us sick and keep us in debt.
Yep.
Right? So only the super elite can afford the highest quality of anything.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas reality is everyone should have the diet and lifestyle as royalty. Everyone. There's plenty of resources available in the world to have everyone live like royalty. And this was this blew my mind when I read this in a book in the early 1900s called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. You guys heard of that?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wallace Wattles.
Yeah, and so he gave the estimate that if everyone can live in a comfortable home, all the world's population could fit in the state of Texas. Believe it or not, this is how much resources is available in the world.
Yeah.
Most people, when you just travel from one town to another town, you see all this open space, and then all you hear in the news is overcrowding.
Yeah, it's squunched into
it's
cities, right? They're
Yeah.
all
Overpopulated.
Yeah.
Yeah, overpopulated. We gotta limit the population. We da 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 da. No, we just need to give people more resources, and so that way they can make better choices.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And the quality of the air is so important. So just to review, the things that mess with the air are irritating particulate matter, such as dust, smoke, pollen, mold, dangerous VOCs or off-gassing chemicals that come from formaldehyde, adhesives, pesticides, cleaning chemicals, even those air fresheners, right? They also are dangerous VOCs. All they do, really, the air fresheners, you can call them, all they do is they have chemicals in there to numb the smell receptors in our nose. So we don't smell as the things that are offensive, the odors, and then they mask it with some other perfumes that are a lot stronger, right? And these infectious bioaerosols, which are like the bacteria, the viruses, and the fungi. So when looking at a air filter, air purifier, it's very important to ask yourself the question when you're making an assessment: does it address all these three areas of concern? Okay. There's something else I wanted to mention. In nature, I want to ask you guys a question: where do you find the cleanest air?
Where there are the most trees.
Okay. Unless there's a forest fire, right?
Right.
Well,
yeah.
Touche.
So there's two areas. One is on the ocean.
Right.
Yeah.
And two is in the mountaintops.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, like
and
the Alps.
Notice that you have the largest amount of space.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in an open space, you have the cleanest air. And that's why cities have the worst air quality, because everything is so jammed and packed. There's not good airflow, right? So everyone, especially living in cities, should have an air purifier, and ideally one of ours, because it addresses all these three main components.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to mention something about some of the technologies that address these issues in the air. So there's something called carbon filters, right?
Yep.
And they're really good at taking away gases, chemicals, odors in the environment. And that's all they do, pretty much. They absorb, similar to like charcoal, right? When you take charcoal, it like absorbs and adsorbs different toxins, right?
Right.
So this is basically charcoal or carbon and when air is passed through that has some of these fumes and chemicals and odors in them, it would capture it.
Right.
Which is great. We have also other technologies like ionization. And what this does, it electrifies the air and it causes smaller particles to clump together, increasing the particle size. So they actually then they can settle easier. And that way it's not floating around in the air,
Yeah,
which
right.
is also good. And that technology also invigorates the mood because it helps the negative ions help the body brain make more serotonin,
Yep.
believe it or not, which is great, which is a great benefit. Who doesn't want to be a little happier, right?
Well, that kind of dovetails with what you were talking about in our last episode about being negatively charged and grounding to the earth. So it makes sense that the air that we breathe should be negatively charged as well.
Exactly. What that means is negatively charged means there's extra electrons available in the atmosphere or in our bodies that help to neutralize free radicals. Right
Yeah.
now, these free radicals, they come from the environment, from these toxins and whatnot, but they also are made by our bodies whenever we are stressed.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why having it from the grounding, from our grounded mattresses, having it from the air purification systems, help to support the natural antioxidant function in the body.
Yeah. Wow. That's so cool.
Hmm.
Again, very simple. Makes so much sense.
Yeah. And the good news is everyone can benefit, from babies to young adults to the elderly. It's going to help everyone because
Anyone
this,
drawing breath, right?
right?
Anyone drawing breath.
Yes. Anyone drawing breath. Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah.
Some of the other technologies that are very good are activated oxygen generators or ozone generators. You guys heard about ozone?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, ozone is amazing. There's so many applications of ozone. I know you guys probably have heard about the IV ozone, right? Where they oxygenate
Yep.
the
It's supposed
blood.
to be, yeah, it's supposed to be one of the best healing protocols.
One of the best, one of the best. And we're able to bring that into the air. So because what it does for inside the body when it's applied intravenously, when we apply it in the air, it does the same thing to the air environment, which then you're exposed to. So what we're doing is we're really optimizing our environment, right? Because health, to improve our health and to maintain good health, is from two approaches. One is from the outer, and then the other one is from the inner, right? And so
Wow.
with this combination of different modalities and therapies, we're able to support inner healing, and then our products optimizing the environment helps with the outer.
Okay.
So and they work synergistically, right? Which is so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this ozone, what it does is it destroys pollutants, odors on contact, right? And it also sanitizes surfaces and fabrics, which is so vital. So what I recommend most people do is when they leave the home or they leave a room, they turn on the ozone and an automatic timer over 15 minutes to a few hours, and then it will sanitize the whole room, all the nooks and crannies, all under the bed, right? It will go everywhere. It will go in your closet and keep everything fresh there. And the good news is, what it leaves behind is oxygen, more oxygen in the air, which is so vital.
Yeah. Wow.
That is so cool.
So I did have one question. You might have kind of already addressed it with the other technologies out there, but I kind of just wanted you to simplify it for us, because people in our audience use. I know that some of them anyway would use diffusers and humidifiers and things,
Essential oils.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
talk to us a little bit about that.
Great
And what
question.
comparison is. Yeah.
Great question. So diffusers, let's start with diffusers first.
Okay.
Diffusers is taking, usually it's cold steam, right? And it's a vehicle, it's a carrier of essential oils to get essential oils going into a space. Now, essential oils, because it's related to the smell, and they're very concentrated parts of plants and herbs and flowers. They actually have a lot of brain stimulating effects, and also they help to clear the energy in the room that it's diffused, okay, which has a lot of health benefits. What we're talking about is something different. We're talking about physically cleaning the air.
Yeah.
So they work hand in hand. Another modality is smudging, for example, which is also very powerful to cleanse the air of energetic debris, right? That affects us as well because we are energy beings, primarily, which is important. And what we're doing is supporting that by actually physically cleaning the air. So they don't conflict, they dovetail really well together.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
I like
they
that.
dovetail really well together.
Yeah.
Also, just so you know, in terms of energy, whenever you put ozone on, so ozone also clears the energy in a space.
Okay.
I did
So
not know that. That's interesting.
in that instance, it can somewhat augment or replace smudging, because it actually does cleanse energetically the air as well.
Wow.
That's really good to know.
Yeah. Some people also say, "Oh, I don't need an air purifier because I have a humidifier," right? So humidifiers, they are very good when there is very dry air, right? To bring some more balance of moisture in the air, which is very important. But many times people leave it on too long, and now there's too much moisture in the air, which also then breeds mold.
Yes.
Right.
So we got to be very careful. It is important to measure the humidity in the air to make sure it's an ideal range.
What range would that be?
So it depends on the environment, depends on the temperature of the space as well, and usually between 50 and 60% humidity is ideal.
Okay.
Right? There are sometimes where you want a little higher, sometimes when you want a little lower, depending on certain conditions that people have. Okay? But the good news is, in all those cases, you want clean air first, and that's where our units come in.
Right.
It's good to know because, some people, like, it's all the buzzwords. People think they know, but they don't know. So thanks for making that delineation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
and
can we... Oh, go ahead.
An example that I've seen many people do, especially some of the old timers, they would put a bowl, open bowl filled with water by radiator or windowsill. They say, "Oh, I don't need air purifier. Look, I have everything's accumulating there," because it does settle, it does accumulate different debris. You see it in the water, but just imagine now what's in the rest of the home.
Exactly.
Right? So because people understand the importance of quality air, and they just did the best of what they had available, and now we're making it really easy and affordable for people to be able to get the best quality air purifiers that they can either travel with, they have in bigger spaces and smaller spaces, and to address all these different components.
Yeah, wow.
That's cool. So
good to know.
Can we see some of the units? Do we have something to show?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Let's bring them up. I know you guys are very excited to see them.
I am, yeah.
So this is our deluxe unit. It has the 10 stages. It has the 5 different technologies. It addresses all contaminant groups that we just discussed. It's a mobile unit, which means it's on wheels, so it can be moved from room to room.
Love that.
Right? Which I know is very important. It makes it really convenient. It has a sleep function, which allows it to be super quiet and all the lights turn off on it, right? So you don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
It has a pre-filter that you can actually vacuum or wash to extend the life of the filter.
Yep.
The cartridges need to be changed just once a year.
Yep.
There's a variable fan speed on the unit as well if you want to clean the air out quicker or slower. And the ionization and the ozone function you're able to turn on and off, and to also increase or decrease the intensity of it.
Yeah, cool.
That's so cool. I have a big, heavy air filter, and it's not on wheels, and it doesn't do all that.
Yeah.
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 They look nice.
And
Very
it's beautiful.
nice.
It's also a very beautiful unit.
Mm-hmm.
It will clear out 2,300 square feet per hour. So especially people have really high ceilings or of large open spaces, this is really good. I have this in my kids' bedroom because I really want to support their health and their well-being, especially in their growing bodies. So I have this in their rooms, right?
Right.
And especially today, I was over, and the smoke from the wildfires was all around the apartment. And all we did was turn on the unit, put it on ozone, played in the living room. We came back as if nothing happened, right?
Wow.
Within a few minutes. So it's really, really great. And we're able to sometimes, when I cook, and I would, let's say, make a lot of smoke. Say it would be like, frying something or doing, cooking something that has like some meat or something, browning something. I would bring this unit from their bedroom into the kitchen for a few minutes to clear out the smoke, and then the next day you don't even smell that any food was being cooked there.
Oh,
It's
wow.
really cool. Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah. Now, Jody, imagine trying to take your unit into the kitchen.
I mean, it's like super heavy and dragging around the floor. It's not good.
Yeah. Let's go to some of the other ones there.
Yep. Alrighty.
Now, we also have a compact unit that is 6 stages. So it's a little bit smaller. It's great for restaurants and smaller rooms. It's stationary, but it's still light enough that you can move it around. It also has a pre-filter that can be vacuumed to capture a lot of the bigger particles. It also has the ozone and ionization function as well.
Wow.
Awesome.
The 2 lower ones, the silverish looking one, that's our ozone generator. That's a standalone ozone. And it's really great for to take away any cooking smells. Like one of our clients, I was over their home and I asked them what they like to cook. And the gentleman, husband said, I love fish, but my wife doesn't like the smell of it. So, and then when I told him that we have this air purifier, the wife ordered 3 of them, one for each of their kids also. And the next time I was over their home to follow up with them, they were serving fish, and you couldn't even smell it because they had this unit on to take out all the odors.
Oh, wow. That's so great. That would be great for like cabbage or broccoli or anything like that.
Yeah. So it'll clear it right out. Super strong. And then the 3-in-1 unit, the white and black looking one, that's the one that I mentioned earlier. That's mobile. That they has a car adapter included, right? And it has a plug. It can be used for 110 to 220. So, and all of our units actually are universal. They can be used anywhere in the world, which is great. They're mobile. A lot of people put them in their suitcase. They're small enough that you can put it in your carry-on luggage.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
Right? And so anyone who's going to hotel rooms, this is something that's great. And in addition to that, to use with our pillows, or grounded pillows, which are also can be easily folded and put into the carrying case. And so when I mentioned, let me correct myself. The pillows themselves aren't grounded, but they're made with the same material as our topper and mattress, which is grounded.
Yes.
They usually go together. Yeah.
So can you travel with that one? The one on the bottom right?
Yes, exactly. That's small enough that you can travel with it. It has ozone in there. It has ionization, and it has a screen filter as well.
Wow.
So it will deodorize. It will disinfect the air. It will take out dust particles and different things from the air. Take out any fumes, any mold it will take out. So it's great, universal, and a great place where most people like to start with. Because they can take it with them, which is so nice.
Right.
Yes.
That's great.
So good. And so it's obviously you can pull it apart and wash out the filter and stuff.
Yeah.
The more the unit, the more frequent the washing, I would imagine.
So simple. And especially with the COVID-19 and influenza and other airborne viruses and things like that, this would be essential to travel with, but also to have in your bedrooms and your living spaces whenever you're having a large company over. One of our clients, they had reached out to me last weekend because they had a huge family gathering, and one of the people were sick there, and they didn't have our units set up. They were having it upstairs, but they didn't have one in their dining room. So I recommend anytime there's any kind of gathering of a large amount of people, to put the air purification on in that room, so that way it can sanitize the air and it will increase everyone's safety.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Exactly.
It's very practical.
Yeah, this is so cool. I'm like, when I travel, I want that one for sure. Like,
Yep.
take it with me.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm so
Awesome.
sensitive to water and air in different places. Every time I travel, I'll wake up the next morning and my eyes are all puffy and swollen and bloodshot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, also one of the things I mentioned of all the benefits of having clean air. Well, if you have pollution in the air, or if the air quality isn't as great as it should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the health challenges that it can cause are respiratory problems, headaches, fatigue, and even heart attacks and strokes. All
goodness.
come from poor air quality, and this has all been documented and proven.
Yeah.
So, as important it is to take an aspirin a day, right? That's what doctors recommend to protect your heart. Well, if you really want to protect your heart and the rest of your body, have clean air.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, what we believe is that people should be optimizing their fundamentals of their health, 6 fundamentals of health, before they go for a pill.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And 90 to 95% of all visits to doctors or pharmacies or health practitioners can be limited or even avoided if people take care of these 6 factors. And we're here to help to support them in that.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
So can we talk about price points for each one of these filters?
Oh, that's great. So the bottom 2, let's start with
start at the beginning. Yeah.
the bigger units. They're about $2,500, and that's based on U.S. Shipping. For international, there's a VAT that we need to take a look at as well. So it's about 20 to 30% more.
Yeah.
Okay. And the great thing is when people work with us, we have payment plans that we can split up the payments. So at no point is cost going to be a factor, because for as little as $100, $200 a month, for 6 to 12 months, a person can have this available in their home, which is so vital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, that doesn't really break the bank. I don't feel like I'd need to sell a kidney in order to.
Right?
No, I mean, that's about what I was expecting, because the one I have doesn't do half what you do, and it was a little more than half of what this is. Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. With all the different technologies I mentioned, if you were to take them all separate, because they have these kind of units separate. They have carbon filters separate. They have ionization filters separate. They have units that are ozone separate. Each one of them are $400, $500, $600.
Right.
And we have plus the extra HEPA filter, also a few $100s. So if you take all that together, you're looking at $3,000 to $5,000, and you have 10 different units set up in your home.
Well, exactly. And the fact that you say 2,500 square feet, right, that this covers?
2,300, yep.
2,300. So most of them don't cover more than 500 square feet.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's what that's what mine does. I have to put it in the room that I want to air, because otherwise it's not going to hit all the other rooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in terms of quality, in terms of cost effectiveness, right, we've been able to source the best products, the best technology at the most cost effective price.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. That's very cool.
So good. All right. So the other ones?
Yeah, the other ones here, the compact, which are the ones on the top, they're about $1,025. And again, they're really great for smaller spaces. They're not as mobile, obviously, as the bigger ones, but they're great as stationary. Like I have one in my bedroom, as an example. And the good news is, especially when you put the ozone on, it reaches the whole floor. So it's really great, especially if a person's on a tighter budget. This would be a great place to start with.
Right.
Awesome.
The ones on the bottom, the deodorizer and the ozone, those are $410 each.
Yep.
Also a great price point, and they're really good to start off with as well because they're very mobile. Right? It can be easily taken when you're traveling in the car, and they serve a lot of very multi-purpose for their size.
Yeah, right.
Really
So
good.
what's the maximum size they say that the smaller ones like these two do in terms of space? Yeah.
Great question. So it's about 400 square feet.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad for the small ones. My goodness, my big expensive one was 500.
The reason is because the ozone, both of them have ozone, and ozone clears out a larger surface area.
Right. Okay.
Which is so powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
Very affordable.
And everyone watching, we wanted to extend an offer of 5% off just for mentioning wellness superheroes to all the clients, all the members, as a way for us to give back. And for everyone who watched this to the end, we wanted to give that special offer to everyone.
Oh, I like it.
Awesome. Thanks, Dr. Ruben.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just put that in the banner.
Yeah.
All for mentioning wellness superheroes.
Superheroes, yeah.
And they just email you, do they, Dr. Ruben?
Yes, they can email me.
Yep.
At Dr. Ruben at mywellnessbrothers.com.
Yep.
Right? The email is right there. And there we also have a contact form on our website, mywellnessbrothers.com. There's a quick chat function there that they can contact us.
Yep.
Which is so super easy and simple. So there's many ways to reach out to us. And right now, because we want to support quality, only us three doctors are answering the phones or the emails or the website. You're getting direct access to us.
Wow.
No, I like that.
That's so good.
That is.
Oh, awesome effort, guys.
Yeah.
We're really committed to support people's health. If you haven't noticed.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because I wrote this blog a while ago about the 10 pillars of health, and it's like 6 of them are your thing, and I'm like, wow, this just totally dovetails with what I was saying, how I was trying to address each aspect, of our health, because people don't realize how important all these different spokes of the wheel are. And you've got to address all of them, because if one is lacking, like if you're doing all the stuff but you're not getting enough sleep, or you're not, or you don't have a good mattress, and your back and whatever is, out of whack. And if you're not grounded, then it just puts everything else off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, maintaining our health can be very easy and simple, especially when you take advantage of the synergy when you're supporting all these areas of health.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
I'm fast realizing that health and wellness is an inside job.
It's an inside job. Yeah.
Inside job, meaning we got to take full responsibility for paying attention and taking action to support our health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That's where it all begins.
Yeah.
And that's actually where it ends too, because if you want good quality of life, right, your biggest wealth is your health.
Yes.
Right.
And you can't outsource that. It's not like you can go, okay, I'll just pay for this person to go and get my massages or go. It's like, no, you literally have to make the time. Do the thing.
Yeah. And especially for all the moms and dads out there who really want to support the health of their families, right? The growing kids. Let's make it easy. Let's make it simple. Just by supporting these main factors of air, water, food, sleep, exercise, and mindset, like you're setting them up for great health.
Absolutely. Yeah. And people have gotten used to like quick fixes, with if they think it's wrong and then they just want to go get a pill or, something. I had a friend who recently she was having problems with her gallbladder, and I said, so I hooked her up with a liver and gallbladder flush that would probably heal whatever's going on with her. And she said, oh, I think I'm just going to get it out. And I was like, wait, what? It was like, she would rather go get her gallbladder out than actually,
do something
do a detox for a week, which is like a few days, which is like, I'm like, I mean, that's the brainwashing of, this whole like big medicine has that you have to go that route.
The allopathic model has a lot to answer for in terms of people's mindsets and their approach to their health.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, the way I look at it is I have a lot of compassion for people because honestly, many of them, they're so susceptible to the programming that's put on us that they don't know any better.
They don't know any better. Exactly.
They don't know any better. So I have a lot, my heart goes out to them. And as many people are going to watch this podcast and stream, and many others like it, there's only going to be a small percentage of people who actually take some action.
Right.
And I hope that's you, right? Whoever's watching.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it makes such a difference. I feel like the air and your water are probably the two most important things.
Yes.
To take care of first before anything else, before your diet, before sleep. Like if you don't have clean air and water, you're basically it's like you're a hamster on a wheel. You're not going to get anywhere until you tackle those two things first, in my opinion. Yeah.
As we discussed in the beginning of this interview, I mentioned we can survive weeks without food, days without water, and just a few minutes without air.
Right.
So like you mentioned, Jody, yes, the air and the water are essential place to start with to support and optimize.
Yeah, because you can tackle a lot of health issues just by doing those two things and then figuring out where you are after that, right? If you tackle those, and then you might have a lot of your symptoms go away just by doing that.
Yeah, and where do people spend the most time? It's in their homes. Whether it be they're sleeping or they're getting ready in the morning or they're having meals or they're sitting on the couch, whatever it is, most people spend majority of their time at home.
Right.
Well, especially after the last 3 years, right? And many people
my God, yes.
in their homes. They're like, do I really have to go out? So they're just comfortable staying at home.
Breathing that air, drinking that water, right?
So it's even more vital that people take these areas of their health really seriously. And the good news is we've done a lot of the curating already for people. And so all they need to do is just contact us. We'll answer their questions. We'll ship them the products. We'll teach them how to use it, give them the support and all the TLC required to help them become more aware of how easy and simple it is to support their health.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that. I can't wait to have you back on to tackle the other, we've covered two of the pillars, right? So, I can't wait to tackle the rest of them because that's so important.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, the main purpose is the awareness, is education. And secondary, if people feel led to, we have solutions to help address them.
Right.
Yeah. So good.
You guys are doing a tremendous service to the world. I mean, I don't know anyone who's doing what you guys are doing.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing the whole package. You're not just focusing on one or two things. You're trying, this holistic approach of health using the simplest solutions.
Yeah, I love this quote. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Keep it simple.
When you can't, there's nothing simpler than the approach that we're taking and to give the most benefit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's addressing our immediate environment. We are the gatekeepers of our homes, and therefore, what we're exposed to at home, being that that's where we spend our most time, is having an impact, be it positive or negative.
Right. Well, and the long-term benefits of your solutions, like the bed, is going to last a really long time. So it's not like you're doing a procedure or you're taking, expensive medication or whatever, and then it's gone, right? It's, this is something that's going to last a very, very long time and is going to benefit you for years to come.
Yeah. And when I love to see these really fancy kind of pill boxes people are carrying around with them. And now my theory or my desire is for people to be carrying around their pillow and their orthopedic pillow and their their air purifiers,
Mobile
right? With them.
purifier, yeah. I carry my little. I have a really special pillow that is amazingly I can talk comfortable, and it's a child's pillow of this really fancy pillow that I got, and I carry it every time I travel. And people are like, "What is that?" And I go, "It's my pillow." Like I can't leave home without it because, the pillows in hotels are terrible.
Yeah. And God
Yeah.
knows who slept on them, who
I
slobbered on
know.
them.
And I have my pillowcase and everything because I know, God only knows what the dust mites are going to do. But then if you have the air purifier,
Oh,
you're probably going to be able to get rid of all that stuff.
yeah.
Homogenized.
Mm-hmm.
Half homogenized. So just quickly, because I don't think we asked, and I don't recall you mentioning, but the warranty on these units?
Yeah, so they're lifetime warranty. So
Wow.
and our information is included with, and so anytime people have any issues, can always reach out to us, and we'll make sure that we come up with a solution very quickly.
Yep.
We want to support people's health long term,
Yeah.
right? And so we're here. We've committed ourselves to this mission to help people live longer, healthier lives. We stand by our products, and we're here to help, to be of service.
Well, we extend the
Wow.
capes to you guys because you guys are really out there on the cold face doing the hard yards. So
Right,
we're
exactly.
superheroes in our books.
Well, I
Yeah.
would love to rock the cape when we have our online conference, right?
Oh, when is that going to be?
That would be a great award.
Yeah.
That would be a great award. It's a great honor,
Yeah.
to get one of those capes from you guys,
Yeah.
because it's a representation of true sense of fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That we have, all three of us have, in serving people's health and their longevity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. He's talking about us, Jody, when we do our symposium,
Oh, okay. Our symposium. Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Well, I've been wanting to do one for a long time.
Yes,
I've
and we're
talked
here to
about
support.
it.
We're here
Yeah,
to
I've
support.
talked about it because that's what I kind of used to do for a living, but in the training industry. So I love putting on those kind of things. Yeah, if we could gather all the people we've interviewed, and that would be awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank
Yeah,
you
what's
so
the
much for
Thank
this
you, Dr.
wonderful
Ruben.
opportunity again to
Yeah,
get with you ladies and to share this across the whole entire world. I know, Annie, you're in Australia. Jody, you're in Central America.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm halfway time between Germany and New York. So with all three of us, we literally have most of the globe covered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Well, we can't wait to have you back on, Dr. Ruben,
Yeah.
to cover the other pillars.
Yes. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to comment on the video below, and so that way we can answer your questions and give you more information and really make you feel cared for, because that's ultimately what it is. We want to make everyone feel comfortable. We want to make everyone feel that they're being supported and guided correctly. And so if anyone has any questions, feel free.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We just want you to thrive, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Ruben. We appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Looking forward to our next interview.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
It's going to be awesome.
Thanks, Dr. Ruben. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jody. Another great show.
Another great show.
Pillars of our health that are so simple.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that it starts at the home?
Exactly. We don't have to go outside and get all this stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just need to clean air and water to begin with.
Yeah. And I should just say, for the record, because I call myself a biohacker, but I think the greatest hack is actually doing the simplest things and allowing our body to figure out the rest. So it's
allowing our body to heal itself, really,
Yeah.
Just giving it what it needs to actually survive and then thrive.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And our environmental exposure is so massive. So
yes, it is. It certainly is.
Awesome. Well, great show. We'll see you again soon. But reach out to Dr. Ruben if you're interested in looking at one of these units. They look fantastic, lifetime warranty. Their wealth of resource and information. He's full of great information and knowledge and his experience. So soak that up and take advantage and reach out if you have any questions.
Yeah.